Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I recently saw Spider-Man Far From Home on Sunday, and I just wanted to share my thoughts on it, since not everything I do is Ninjago. But yeah, anyways, in this video, I'm just gonna share my thoughts on the movie. This video will have heavy spoilers for the movie, so if you have not yet seen it, I do advise that you leave this video unless you're okay with hearing these spoilers. But anyways, I just want to talk about the movie and then give it a Rotten Tomatoes ripoff score out of 100%. So yeah, this movie, unlike the other one, is named Far From Home, whereas the other movie is named Homecoming. So this movie, while the other one focuses more on Spider-Man's life at home, this movie shows more of his relationships with friends as well too, and how he reacts to the events of Endgame 2 and Iron Man's death, what kind of shoes he is expected to fill after that, and whether he will be the next Iron Man. And as such, a variety of locations are explored in this movie too, such as Prague, Venice, and London, to name a few. And yeah, I like that this movie had a variety of really cool settings too. I was actually just in Venice a couple weeks ago, so it was fun to see those same locations again. But yeah, anyways, this movie starts out with the threat of these elementals, and there are four of them. There's air, water, fire, and rock, kind of like Ninjago. But yeah, anyways, so moving on from that, there is a twist villain in this movie, and that is Mysterio. At first, this guy is thought out to be the new mentor figure for Spider-Man, but then soon enough, it's revealed fairly early on in the movie, it's revealed that this guy is actually the villain, and he stages these elemental attacks so he can portray himself as the hero. I like this, and I'm glad that they decided to reveal this twist earlier on rather than later, but I think some of Marvel's twist villains are, not the best necessarily, and it might be time to take a step away from all of these twist villains. Another thing that I didn't really think was all that realistic was how quickly Mysterio and Spider-Man got to know each other. I mean, Spider-Man just quickly entrusted Mysterio with his Edith glasses, and those guys had barely had any interaction at that point. They had a couple of meaningful conversations, but I don't think there was anything too much to convince Spider-Man to give these super dangerous glasses to this guy. I don't think that too much of a relationship was forged at that point, and there wasn't enough interaction between these two characters where they could have enough development to say, oh, these guys trust each other's and they trust giving each other different stuff. And yeah, I don't think that there wasn't exactly that much development in that case between the two. But yeah, I thought that Mysterio was a fairly cool character. Not the best villain. Marvel villains definitely tend to suffer. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Definitely a step above some other villains out there. But definitely not one of the best villains per se. But yeah, I thought he was kind of cool. And especially, let's talk about that mid-credits scene too. So, of course, this movie brings back the mid-credits and post-credits scene after the absence from Endgame. And the mid-credits scene is actually awesome because it really does set up the next Spider-Man movie. And it does that very well. The mid-credits scene is pretty haunting as Mysterio's contingency plans get released to the world, and a video of Spider-Man getting exposed, his identity, and his face is revealed. That mid-credits scene I thought was super chilling, and it was really, really well done too, for the most part. So yeah, I love the mid-credit scene. Post-credit scene, on the other hand, not so much. I felt like this scene was pretty lame. It pretty much reveals that Nick Fury throughout the entire movie was actually not the real Nick Fury, but simply the Skrull Talos from Captain Marvel. So I thought this post-credit scene was pretty lame. I don't really care too much to see Samuel Jackson on a spaceship without shoes on. I guess it was kind of funny, but certainly not worth the, 10 minutes of waiting. But yeah, I mean, all that aside, I want to share some of these things about the movie that I really did love. The humor of this movie is awesome for the most part, and I really did love the humor. I think it would be in Star Wars and Ninjago Season 11's best interest to take notes on how Spider-Man Far From Home did its humor. It is perfectly balanced, as all things should be, alongside action and emotion, and serious tone as well. The humor is not front and center, but it is a prominent part throughout this movie as well. And again, it is perfectly balanced alongside more serious tones too. And that is really how you do the humor. The humor, again, in this movie was really funny as well too. And just how they portrayed Spider-Man's friends too was really well done. And I loved how they did this in the movie. So yeah, humor gets a lot of points from me. And moving on, Nick Fury was also pretty cool in this movie. He's a pretty cool guy. And yeah, let's see, is there anything else to really talk about? I guess Spider-Man's love story relationship, nothing too special. I mean, we've seen love stories plenty of times throughout movies, so I guess it was kind of cute, and the ending of that story was pretty satisfying too. I liked the ending with MJ, but it's nothing too unique necessarily, if you know what I'm getting at. So yeah, But those are my thoughts on that love story, that romantic thing with them. And also, this movie did a great job of explaining again how people are reacting to the events of Endgame and the blip, as it's now called, where everyone comes back. And of course, more importantly, Spider Man's mentor's death, that being Iron Man, and how the world is mourning him still. So I thought that was really well done too. And it wouldn't be a Marvel movie if it didn't have some crazy abstract scene of the hero getting tortured somehow. So yeah, we have a scene where Spider-Man getting tortured by Mysterio's illusions and an Iron Man coming back from the grave clawing after him. So yeah, it was pretty cool. I liked how they did that. Now, talking about some of the illusion stuff, the illusion stuff I found to be confusing in some scenes. Not too many, but in some instances I did find some of the whole illusion stuff to be a bit confusing. So I think after a movie about shape-shifting and now illusions, it might be time for Marvel to steer away from this and maybe take a look at some new ideas away from the whole shape-shifting and illusion stuff. But yeah, anyways, I thought this movie was really good for the most part. It had some issues that I've already pointed out in this video, but it was a very cool movie. I like the villain mostly. Again, the villain isn't anything too special, but I thought he was a pretty cool character. And all in all, I loved how this movie really did explain more about Spider-Man and how he is reacting to Iron Man's death. And we got a lot of development for him and his friends too. So then I'm going to give this movie an 87%. It was really good and I highly recommend that you guys check it out. Very funny movie too, and you'll definitely be laughing throughout it. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, share with anyone you know, and if you've seen the movie, let me know what you think of Spider-Man Far From Home. Once again, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.